Okay, so the mechanism of Shlom Bayit is a present given to us from the Creator of the world, from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that should allow us to come to complete ourselves. Everything that, if anybody pays attention, the world as it was created and the way that we live in a world where everything has to have some type of completion to it before it's used. So to say, if you want to make bread, you have to go through many steps to plant the seeds, to grow the wheat. Then you have to take the wheat and you have to break it up and you have to separate it. You can have whole wheat, you can have white, and after that you have to grind it up. And when you're done with that, you have to add all types of things and salt and pepper and whatever it is you want to put in the bread, and then you have to put it in the oven and wait for it to come out. It's a long process. Someone wants to eat a fruit. It's not so simple. You have to take the fruit, you have to peel it, you have to fix it. Sometimes you want to put it in the refrigerator. Everything needs a tikkun. Everything needs some type of process to bring it to its perfect state. So too the human being, he has a process that he goes through. The world was created in an incomplete manner. As we know, the Ramchal explains that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, why did he create the world in such a way that he wanted to give, it's called the Chok HaTov HaMinat Leitiv, to give the human being something good in the world, because he's good and he wants to give good over to some, and the way he can give good over is by creating a beneficiary, someone who can accept the good that is given. And then the world was created and the human being was put on the world, and this human being was given the ability to receive good. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to himself, hold on, but wait, if I give this individual good for free, then he's going to have an embarrassment. Someone who receives something for free from someone else, at some point in time, feels that, I'm taking, how can I give something back? It's not fair that all day long I'm going to take. I want to give something in return. So Kadosh Baruch Hu, in his beautiful way, understood all of that beforehand, and he said, what can I do to solve the problem? I can give the Adam what is called the freedom of choice. And after he chooses between good and bad, it'll be a difficult obstacle for him to stand in the test of choosing between good and bad. But once he chooses good, he'll be the owner of what I want to give him, which is a good, right? Whatever we think is good is not necessarily in the eyes of Hashem good, although not necessarily saying that things that come upon us that aren't good, we're not talking about that type of differentiation. We're talking about a different differentiation. When we're saying that what's good in the eyes of Hashem is not our good, we're talking about a good that we can't comprehend.
Spiritual?
A special good that we can't comprehend with our brain power. Mm-hmm. It's a lot bigger than us. But what we can comprehend is also a good that is given to us, which is whether it's parnasah, livelihood. HaKadosh Baruch Hu decides that he wants to give us, an ability to sustain ourselves. And then at a higher level, he gives us a spiritual good, which is the ultimate good. When a person has shalom in his guf, right? Oseh shalom bimromav, hu berachamav yaseh shalom aleinu. That when HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the inyan of shalom is peace, that we should have peace inside of us as well. And how do we have peace inside of us? When we fight this war between the evil and inclination and the good, and the good inclination wins and erases what it is, hatred or jealousy, sinat chinam, all types of bad midot, laziness, erases that from our body. And then we have shalom in our body. Shalom shalom. He says he does shalom up there, he'll do shalom down here between us and between all of Am Yisrael. And when a person has shalom inside, then he has shalom with the people around him. And there's nothing better than a person who can be in a surrounding and be happy with his surroundings. And that's the ultimate good that a person can receive. Of course.
Why are you speaking about laziness in that?
Because the midot haraot, inside of them is laziness. It says, nikiyut mibi al-yedei zrizut. Cleanliness brings to being quick as opposed to lazy. Zrizut mibi al-yedei anava. It's very weird, but this is what the Mishnah says. Zrizut, being quick, brings you to humbleness, to anava. Ve'anava mibi al-yedei ruach hakodesh, and humbleness brings to ruach hakodesh, to be able to see things that nobody else can see. So we know that the laziness, the idea of sleeping and not wanting to get up, it's an enjoyment of the body, right? You know, nothing feels better than coming home after a long day of work and putting your feet up on the couch and resting. And that's needed, you know. It's needed al menad. We rest in order to have avodat haboreh, that we should be able to get up at a certain point in time and continue on our work with the Kadosh Baruch Hu.
That's a different laziness.
That's the laziness. That's the problem. Society wants to teach you that laziness is that you're not getting up to work. You're not going to get a job.
Willpower.
That's not, it has nothing to do with laziness. That's something that drives you, that's external to you. And we're not looking for an external drive. We're looking for an internal drive. Something that's going to get me up,
Positive.
not because it's external to me and I have to receive it. It's something that I'm connected to with my midot, that because I'm complete inside of my midot, I'm able to get up in the morning. I'm able to think clearly. That's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to give us. So anyhow, this good that we were talking about was supposed to be given to man. So
Give it
to man. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted him to earn it, so he put him these things that are called obstacles that he has to go through. How do we know where we're holding in this challenge of obstacles? The wife. That's the mechanism. She was given to you, and there's no coincidences that HaKadosh Baruch Hu separated the woman from the man in creation, built her out of him. He could have built her from something else. It says women are from Mars, right? Men are from Venus, women are from Mars. So maybe he brought her from Mars. Maybe he's from Venus. No. They think, the world says, no, women and men, they completely don't get along. They think completely differently. They're from here and he's from there. No, they're exactly from the same thing. She's from him. And when he doesn't want to do what he has to do in order to complete himself, she looks opposite. But when he's doing what he's supposed to do, she looks perfect. Shlomo HaMelech said, Motze ani et ha'isha mar mimavet. I find the woman bitter than death. And it says somewhere else in the Torah, Matzah isha, matzah tov. Someone who found a woman, found good. So make up your mind. Either if you found a woman, you found good. Either you find a woman bitter than death. So he says matzah is in the past tense. Matzah isha matzah tov. If he found a woman, he found good. When did he find? From when he met her up until the end point, the present time. And when he's not dealing with her in a proper way, that things aren't going good, he reflects back on the past and he realizes that, hold on, it wasn't always so horrible. Right now, it's a little difficult. And that's where he has to say to himself, why? Why is it difficult? Is it her or is it me? So he says, so then that's where it says, Matzah isha matzah tov. Someone who found a woman from back then all the way until now found good. Motze ani et ha'isha mar mimavet. I find the woman. Right now I'm finding the woman mar mimavet, bitter than death. Because right now things aren't going as planned. But that's the emunah. A person can live his life completely insane, thinking that he controls the world, thinking that people are doing to him. This one stole from me, this one robbed me, my wife isn't listening to me, my children aren't listening to me. Or he can face the reality and realize that it's all him. And it's not so difficult to do it in this generation. You know, back then I would understand maybe in the times of the Baal Shem Tov. You had these tzaddikim that if they didn't get along with their wife, so they had to think really hard. What did I do? What did I do? Maybe I spoke Lashon Hara. Maybe I did something. So here, You can say by the end of the day 15 different reasons why your wife is acting the way she's acting towards you. The way that we act, what we saw in the streets, how we spoke about another individual, what we heard about somebody else. And we think that we can do whatever we want and we can live our life and everything's going to be okay. Why? Because, Joe Smith, look at him. He's not even with a kippah on his head and he's a millionaire, There are many people who don't do Ratzon Hashem and they're doing great in the world. That's the Nisayon. I think it's brought, if I'm not mistaken, maybe in Chovat HaLevavot, it says that we wanted to give the individual the right to choose. So in that, no, it's in Me'am Loez, that we wanted to give the individual the right to choose. So in order to have this free choice, we have to show in the world that our people that are not doing anything that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from them, and He's giving them everything that they need. Because if not, there will no be decision to make. You'll know, this guy does good, look, he's receiving what he wants. This guy doesn't, he's erased from the world.
Joseph. So, a person getting along with his wife has more to do with his Avodat Hashem than to the way he treats her.
It has nothing to do with her.
No, the way he treats her.
I'll tell you, it has nothing to do with her. It has nothing to do with the way he treats her.
Uh-huh.
Everyone's saying, how can you say that?
No.
What do you mean? You can be mean to your wife and she'll be great? No.
No, I'm not saying that.
If you're good with Hashem, then automatically you're going to be good with your wife. This is the beauty of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem, He created this mechanism.
No, let's say he's not bad with his wife, but he doesn't pay much attention to her, he's busy.
Then he's not good with Hashem. Hashem said, "V'ahavta l'orecha kamocha."